Okay, so this is just a super quick tutorial on the concept of ppm, or parts per million. So ppm means parts per million. And so the idea there is that if you took something, could be anything, and you divided it up into a million roughly equal parts, this just tells you how many of those parts would be made up of something specific. And it works in the same way that percent works. Percent actually means parts per hundred. And you use parts per million just like you would use percent. If I told you that 2% of 1,500 marbles are black, so you know some things there, right? You have a box with 1,500 marbles in it, and 2% of them are black. You would be able to figure out how many black marbles you have, right? You have 2% is 0.02, right? That means 2 out of every 100, and you would multiply 1,500 by that, and that would give you 30 black marbles. So parts per million works in exactly the same way, or in a completely analogous way, except now instead of parts per 100, it's parts per million. For example, in our atmosphere, we know that we have approximately 400 parts per million of CO2, carbon dioxide. And so what that means is out of every million particles making up our atmosphere, 400 are carbon dioxide. So that is the idea of how parts per million work. So in the problem, number 56, you're basically being asked to think about how many parts of the air in a room are carbon monoxide. Okay? And so this should be enough information to get that across without making it any more complicated than it needs to be. You can think of it just like percent, except instead of 1 per 100 is 1%. 1 per million, or 10 to the 6th, equals 1 ppm. All right, that should be enough.